All right. Let's talk about the upcoming national dialogue announced by the President of the Republic of Cameroon. What is at stake according to you?
Well, like you see, the President has announced a national dialogue and appointed the Prime Minister, Dr. Dion Gute, to preside over it. You see, the President is a very busy man, and one would expect that certain aspects, certain things may escape his memory. So that's why it is the duty of legal minds to draw his attention to this. The first, I'll give 2 points. The first one is the provisions of Resolution 1608 of the 21st of April 1961 of the United Nations, which governed the plebiscite in British Southern Cameroon. Point 5 of those resolutions are very clear. That point 5 prescribed that the governments of the Southern Cameroon, the republics of Southern Cameroon and the Republic of Cameroon should immediately come together to put together all the arrangements that will determine the implementation of the policies that on which they have agreed. In other words, they have to come together to conclude a union treaty.
A union treaty? What's that, a union treaty?
A treaty that defines the terms of their coming together.
That never happened.
It never happened. You see, so...
but some have been disputing that fact. That
I have given you the reference. Resolution 1608 of the 21st of September 1961, United Nations, point 5. I've given you the provisions. So any person who wants to argue can either go to UN or consult that resolution on Google.
You're backing the fact that you're backing what some people have been saying, that this union is illegal.
I am going to the second point as you are raising. The union is you see, we are living in a legal jungle. Can you imagine, Babila, that the present constitution of Cameroon, I'm talking of this constitution that is governing this country today, the one of 1996, Article 68 provides that all the previous legislation of the Federal Republic and of the federated states remain in force insofar as they don't violate existing laws. That means that the 1948 Macpherson Constitution of Southern Cameroon is in force, and that is why even the 1955 High Court law of Southern Cameroon is in force. That is why the government finds it difficult to dismantle the English legal system that was created by those legal instruments. The English education system as well, and most of our cultural things. You see, we are in a legal jungle. In 1961, President Ahidjo decreed the entry into force of the Federal Constitution, which simply means that that instrument was a legal nullity. No constitution is decreed. You vote a constitution and it is promulgated into law. It was decreed. Southern Cameroon, as of that date, had a government, had a parliament. It was a full country. You see from the UN resolution that they are talking about two countries, two republics, and the governments of the two republics, they both had assemblies which could have voted that constitution and then promulgated into law. It never happened. So that constitution is a nullity, and everything else that has been built on that constitution collapses. So as of today, we have this legal problem.
So the upcoming national dialogue should bring these issues to the
We
table.
have this problem created in Article 68 of the Constitution. You cannot forge ahead with one Cameroon that recognizes two Cameroons, because this article recognizes that there are two Cameroons, not one, because the laws formally binding Southern Cameroons are in force. The laws formally binding East Cameroon are in force. So you have two Cameroons recognized in the Constitution. You cannot go ahead with that. We need that union treaty. We need that union treaty that has to bring the two of them together, so that we now forge ahead as one nation.
But that constitution that is recognizing the two parts, you said earlier that
Article 68 of 1996 Constitution.
With that same constitution which you say is illegal.
Because it is it derives its roots from the 1961 federal constitution, which was illegal.
Okay, so the national dialogue, what should it seek to address?
It should serve as an avenue for Cameroonians, the Cameroonian legal minds, because many people think this is politics. I want to draw the attention of Cameroonians that if we don't solve this legal issue, we shall suffer inside for years. Legal minds have to come together and iron out these legal issues. We cannot have two countries in one country. It's not possible. Article 68 of this present constitution creates two countries in one country. So we have to come out and present a union treaty. The people of Southern Cameroon and the people of the Republic of Cameroon have to bring representatives, and we come up with a union treaty that should define the terms of the union, what the Francophones call le vivre ensemble. It has to define that, so that from that point now we can have a common legal instrument that can lead us to the future.
So it's not all about coming to discuss marginalization, federalism, decentralization, or whatever.
We
should go back to the roots.
We agree. The UN has said so. Address the root cause of the issue. Address the root cause of the issue. The root cause is not decentralization. It is not marginalization. It is that there is no union treaty, so everybody does his own thing his own way.
But when you look at the way in the announcement of the President of the Republic, he highlighted some number of issues. He mentioned decentralization, an indication that that is the stand of the government as far as the form of the state is concerned. He mentioned some persons is going to be led by the Prime Minister and so on. When you look at all of this, do you think that something close to what you say now can come out of that meeting?
I said that the President is a very busy man, and that is why some certain aspects may escape him. I did mention so because normally I know that if his attention was drawn to the points and the arguments I'm raising, he will not make that he will not convene the meeting in that way. Because if you look at the resolution 1608, you look at Article 68 of our Constitution, you will see that there is a clear legal problem that needs to be addressed. You cannot have two states existing in one with conflict with two parallel legislation, and you think that you can forge ahead as one nation. It's not possible. We need a union treaty that will serve as a melting pot and serve us as a springboard to the future.
All right. Do you think the Prime Minister should be the one to chair that meeting?
If we are talking about a union treaty between two states,
the SDF said that
if we are talking about a union treaty between two states, the Prime Minister of one of the states cannot preside. You can see that resolution 1608 is a UN resolution, so you cannot be applying it by taking the Prime Minister of one of the two states to preside.
Who should preside?
We need a neutral person.
Who is?
A neutral person from another country.
A foreigner.
A neutral person, somebody who is not of any of the two parties.
Other persons think, like Cardinal Tumi, think that nobody should come from outside.
I'm sorry, Cardinal Tumi is not a legal mind.
They should be observers.
He is not
we
a legal
can manage
mind.
our problems.
With all due respect, Cardinal Tumi is not a legal mind. I'm talking with legal arguments. If he has better ones, let him produce them.
Right. Senior Barrister Emmanuel Ashu, member of the Cameroon Bar Association and National President of Reform Political Party. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. That's it for today.